Hello guys, thanks for watching. Right, in my last video I showed you my Pi setup, which is still going now. I haven't restarted it, haven't needed to touch it. Right now I've just set it up on one pool. One pool's fine, but if your pool goes down then you'll stop mining, and that's bad because, well, if you stop mining you're obviously not going to get anything, and your feed is still going to be on, so it's still going to be using power, so you're just going to be losing money. So one solution to this is setting up multiple pools. How this works is that you have your primary pool, and then you all have priorities. So in this case, I'm going to set my primary pool to BTC Guild, and I'm going to set a backup pool as 50 BTC. It's very useful, like I said, because you don't want your miner to be taken down because of any issues with the pool. Issues with the pool isn't really something what should happen that commonly, but obviously there's maintenance what happens on the pool, or if there's any sort of hardware failure on their end or anything. It protects you from that by going into another pool. Having multiple ones is better. You don't really, I mean, it depends how serious it is. Like, obviously if it's a huge amount of hashing you've got, obviously you want a larger amount. Like if you have like a few gigahash, obviously you want quite a lot of backups because you don't really want it to be not mined till. Also another thing which is a good idea is setting up with solo mining on your BTC Qt client. That's definitely a good idea because well then that can't go offline really. I mean, unless your internet goes. I believe if your internet goes, I believe it still works even if your internet isn't gone, but obviously if a block is detected while your internet's gone, obviously it won't, but you know, if your internet's not gone for long, then I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna say that yeah, setting up with BTC Qt is definitely a good idea. I'm not gonna do it in this. I'm not gonna do it personally because I'm not gonna set it up on my Raspberry Pi. I could do it over the network, but my computer's not always on, and I don't really feel like setting it up. I don't really feel there's going to be that much of an issue with two pools. Alright then, so right now I'm into Cgminer. I'm in SSH on screen right now. As you can see, it's got a load of a set to share, detect a new block, just working. So right now, to do this you don't need to take it down till, right at the top here you see it says pool management. Now in brackets that stands for meaning hotkey. So if you push P, so if I push P right now, you'll see that it says you'll say my current pool. So right now, enabled, alive, priority 0, straight in BTC Guild on the port, and then my user. So it's priority 0. Right now it's priority 0 because it's the only pool, and this priority is not enabled. But if I want to add a new pool, I'm going to add the 50 BTC 50 BTC pool. I just have to push A. Tells me to enter the URL. Let's type it in. And now ask me for the username. I made a new worker for it, like I did with BTC Guild, because it's easier to track, and you should make a new worker for every single different instance of Cgminer you got running. So if you have it run on 2 computers, you should have 2 workers. If you have it run on 5 computers, 5 workers, etc, etc. The password, nothing really to be secure about. Okay, so right now you see it says that it's, for some reason it's saying it's down. I'm not totally sure why. I was using this pool earlier on my other. I'll just try removing it and then adding it again, just just to try. Yeah. I believe I was having an issue with being down when I was learning it online. It was not actually down, I'm not sure exactly what it is. Apparently it's... Oh, never mind. I think I just need to push enable the pull. There we go. Sorry about that. So now we've got priority 0, which right now I've got failovers disabled because I wasn't using any pulls before. So it's easier just to push F now. It's now fail over only is enabled, and I can easily push C to change the management strategy. So right now, here's the choice of management strategies. I'll explain them all. I'm not 100% sure exactly if I can explain all of them, but I'll do my best quickly. So failovers, like I said, if it's unable to connect to the pool for some reason, it will just go to the next one on the list. It will keep trying to connect to the highest priority one, so if that one comes back online, it will go back on that one. I mean, yeah. Round robin means, I believe it means, well, round robin in general means it goes around in a round sense. So in other words, it will go to pool 0, and then it will go to pool 1, pool 2, then go back to pool 0, pool 1, etc, etc. So it will just go around in a fashion. I'm not totally sure what, I believe because I've got failover only mode enabled, I believe it will only round robin when the pool fails. I believe if you don't have fail only enabled, I believe it will just it'll probably do it either when you submit a share or when the pool changes block, most likely. I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure on the tape, but it sounds very close, very similar to round robin. It might just be a different. It might just be a different way. So probably just maybe round robin doesn't take priority into account, or maybe rotate doesn't. I'm not sure. Load balance, I believe, switches pool depending on the amount of people on the pool or how fast it is. So it'll connect to the fastest pool. And balance, I believe, stays the same amount of time in all the pools equally. So I want failover because I don't really want to be jumping pool. I wouldn't really recommend jumping pool, but because if you stay at one pool, you're obviously going to get the most amount of shares, and you know. So just keeping failover on is probably the best idea. There are some advantages. So right now, this is on my. It's not saved this to a config. Right now I haven't needed to save it to a config. It does make it a lot easier if you saved it to a config and then just entered it in there and then have to type in Cgminer or automatically load it. But since it hasn't been off yet, I'm not really going to worry about that. I'll probably just make a config soon and just leave it there because I already know the formatting for that. It's just a simple JSON file. Just put all your pools and everything in there and other things. So yeah, just push a key, and then we're taken back to the share screen or main screen, whatever you want to call it. And it's submitting shares. It's still in pool 0. I'm still logged in as my user. Everything's still fine. Not lost any time mining. You know, haven't lost any shares. If you've seen this, I'm not sure if you have, but I've seen it before. I saw it when the internet went. My internet. It wasn't Sturdaport, it was just my internet. If it disconnects from the port, it usually says like disconnected from the pool or pool slow, something like that, and it'll usually say something like lost a certain amount of shares because of not being able to connect to the pool. And that's definitely bad. I mean, you might still lose a couple shares if the pool, if you have failover mode on, if the pool does go down. Because obviously, if you know, you're going to be losing time to work towards the new pool's target, because they've all got their own work to, to avoid you from trying to mine on different pools at the same time using the same hashing. I'm not going to get into too much detail about that. But yeah, they've all got their own personalised work. So you'll have to. So if you change the pool, you obviously have to change the work to do, which obviously is similar to when it changes block in the pool, basically. So that's pretty much it. That's similar. I wouldn't say it was the same, but similar. But yeah, everything's working as you can see. You can easily switch the pool if you wanted to immediately, but I'm not because I don't really want to switch the pool right now. But it's definitely good to have a backup pool for that exact reason. But I believe now if I go into the pools again, yeah, everything looks fine. It's still alive, not dead. It's not slow or down. I'm not totally sure at message watch. It might be because I did have to enable the pool. I'm not sure. I don't usually add pools this way. I usually add pools just by editing with the config file and just adding a new, adding the pool there. But it seems to be working. I'm not gonna switch to it just yet, but it's alive. Cgminer does check all your pools to make sure that they are up, so it won't switch to another one which is down or anything if another one goes down in the list. So it is nice to have a nice list. That's why it's a good idea to make multiple pool accounts. But if you haven't really got much mega hash or hashing power, you might find it hard to use multiple pools. So keeping it one pool is good if it does take you a while to earn the 0.01 BTC or Bitcoin. Because at today's exchange rate, it does equal about $1, literally. So it's literally 0.01 Bitcoin is $1. A little bit less, depends where you go. Everyone's got their own. Almost feels like everyone's got their own rate. It's around $100, more or less. But that's at the time of this video. It most likely be different in a week. So you might, if you're interested in doing this, you might want to be looking at the difficulty of the Bitcoin network, because obviously the higher the difficulty, the harder it is to mine. That means it'll require more work to be able to get the same amount. The Bitcoin value does go down from what you found in the block, but that's not going to happen. That's happened recently, and it's not going to happen for another like 4 years. So that's not something really to worry about right now, unless if you're expecting your hardware to pay off over like 4 or 5 years, which most of the time it won't. Most of the time that's not the case. Usually it's a lot shorter. But I guess it depends on what you're going to invest in. Obviously, if you're going to buy a ton of hardware you're going to build yourself, like if you're going to invest in some to build your own ASIC miners or something, which I don't suppose anyone watching this video would do, but I'm just saying, if you're making your own hardware as in actually building it, then you might want to look into that. But yeah, the Bitcoin difficulty is something what you should be aware of. There are some sites which can estimate the new difficulty. Most likely it will always be going up for a while, because obviously the increase of ASIC miners and the increase of miners in general and things are pushing it up. But yeah, right now if you just get a single ASIC blocker up like I've got, it should be fine. I mean, it depends of how serious you want to go into it. If you actually want to go into it as sort of like a hobby, as like an experience, more like that, and it's not really that big of a deal if you don't exactly get back what you paid. You know, it's an investment really. It is pretty much just an investment. The value of Bitcoin could go up high, and or the value of Bitcoin could go down loads. Same as if you were to buy Bitcoin. I personally have never bought any Bitcoin or exchanged any. So I can't help you with that. But there are some sites around that you can do that with, which again I can't say my opinion only because I haven't used any of them. But yeah, I hope me showing you how to add pools was useful for you. Because you can add them on the go, you don't have to close it. Not that you'll really lose out on that much, but if you can see here, I mean, I probably am getting like I don't know, probably more than 5 shares a minute. Probably quite a bit more than that, to be honest. I mean, you can't really. It's all estimate, really. You can't really have a detailed exact amount because it is random, basically. If you'll get a share because of the way it works, so you could get a ton within a minute, or you can only get like 1 or 2 a minute. That happens. Like you see up here, it's pretty much got like 5 minutes worth here. Here's about 5 minutes worth, basically. A bit less than 5 minutes, but yeah, that's pretty much 5 minutes worth. Now I added a pool. I don't think it said this before, but now I've added a new pool. It says pool 0. AMU 0 means it's just that the device is 0. So if I add another one of these, which I wouldn't mind doing in the future, depending on how well this goes and the price of them, and the stock and things, depending on those things. Yeah, anyway. So right now, if I had another one, it'd be AMU 0, AMU 1, if I had another AMU 2, etc, etc. And that would say which ones are doing it, so, you know, they'd have some of those 1 if there were multiple of them doing it. But now it says pool 0. I don't believe it said this before. I'm not 100% sure if it did, but I don't think it did. But now it says pool 0, sorry. So that means I'm connected to pool 0. I believe in my case this isn't really the most useful thing to see because they're all going to be pool 0 unless if it switches pool. But I guess if you're using a different one like balance or something where it's going to be working at multiple pools at the same time, then I guess it'd be a good idea to see how well you're doing on each pool, basically. So you can see where your shares are going to, which pool they're going to. Yeah, 87,000 accepted shares. Like I said, this is going since last time I created the video. So it's still going like, I don't know how long it's been now, probably about 2.5 weeks, probably. Around that. So it's definitely stable. Obviously you can't achieve 100% uptime because obviously you're going to have electricity issues during the year, internet issues, you could switch ISPs, the pools can have issues, that's why setting up a multiple pool like I've just done is a good idea. You can also have issues with your hardware, which wouldn't really be very unfortunate, especially if you've only recently got it. But yeah, you can't achieve 100% uptime because the program Cgminer could crash as well, or the Linux operation system could crash. There's loads of things that could go wrong. I mean, the powered hub could go wrong. There's just pretty much an endless list. Well, not really an endless list, but I mean more like there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Not that they should, but you know, within a year, I guess it is quite likely for one of those things to happen. So, aiming for 100% uptime is something which if you're not that, like, it depends on how much you're investing, really. I mean, if you think that, if you're only investing enough, so well, basically, I'm saying is you should only invest in what you can afford to lose. That way, you won't lose anything what you actually need. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day.